Aloha, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome back. We are beginning week 2 of our in-depth soul retrieval series, and this is where we are working with the full solar arc, so the full power of a solar calendar month of 30 days from 0 degrees all the way to 29 degrees of Scorpio. Amazing, amazing opportunities to delve deeply, to dig deep, to rise high. So it's amazing to be in the second week now of these energies. And I just encourage you to kind of reflect back on the previous alignments of 0 all the way through 5 as we now get into the 6, because what's really fun about the number 6 is where we start to go beyond the mundane. This is where the mystical starts to kind of come through, and it's a beautiful metaphysical jump off from the initial foundation of our self-identity, right? Our self-definition. So if you're new to this series, you want to start with step 0, or the 0 degree, 0 point portal and X moment and divine soul matrix video. And we go day by day working with the numerology. So these degrees are frequencies. These individual frequencies based on numbers are all various octaves of the self-actualization process, which is pretty fascinating. So when we're working with the 0 through the 5, we're setting the foundation from a really clarified and unified state or frame of reference of who we are. It's very simplified, it's very purified. It's a sovereign expression and identification with our true self, our true divine nature, and bringing that forth and expressing that forth here. And what's really fun, why I love the number 6 so much, is this is where we're going to start to get more metaphysical. So the 5 is representative of the divine human potential. The 6 is the next step on self-mastery, bringing in the crystalline clarification. So for me and my journey, the 6 is all about crystalline consciousness and Christ consciousness. This is very interesting to note that this is where we start to really see evidence of distortion and manipulation throughout the last couple 100,000 years for humanity with regards to human nature. When we talk about numerology, and a lot of these systems were kind of paved over with false narrative information, very negative information. So the main point is how deeply ingrained society, even to this day in this modern time, still thinks of 6 or the 666, right, as something sinister. Well, maybe, maybe not, right? I always like to say maybe, maybe not. Who said that? What were they talking about? And this is the beginning where we really can start to see through the veils and look at the inverse matrix nature of the heavenly realms and divine higher potential template energy of divinity versus the material plane, and how the new earth timelines, the higher earth frequency consciousness timelines, are the complete flip, right? They are the inverse matrix of the old paradigm, literally. And what's interesting about that is you could take the number 666 and you add it to itself. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 adds up to 18, which then reduces down to 9, which is the number of the God path, right? And like mastery. So it's like interesting to see, okay, well, one, frame of looking at reality, and who wrote that? What were their intentions, right? That they programmed into the masses, what were they really talking about? Were they trying to put us off the trail of Christed mastery? 6 also represents carbon in the old paradigm of material reality. So it's a very interesting number of transformation, transcendence, and starting to open up to metaphysical realms and the crystalline essence, which is okay, 0 through 5, we've started to get clear on who we are as a soul. And now let's bring in a higher level of access of mystical information, or in this instance, our psychic gifts, right? All of our different gifts and abilities that are all hardwired within us. We just have to activate them. So for me, the number 6 is the next point. So you could think about, okay, number 5, which we covered yesterday, 5 senses, right? 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 elements of creation to build. This is like the foundational building rock of the 3D or the physical reality. And now we're going to take it to another level of the 6th sense, right? 6th chakra. So starting to activate our ability to perceive the higher realms. And this starts to get really, really fun because, again, this six is opening us up to more of our mystical nature, right? The metaphysical realms, what's just beyond the physicality. It feels like it's just above us, it's just out of reach. And yet you can feel this subtle essence energy, this presence of energy. And so it's the process of going beyond the physical realm and just starting to open the doors into working on a multidimensional level of being. So this is where it brings in the Christed Masters, and that crystalline energy is starting to look at and perceive and work with our everyday reality experience like a mystery school, right? That's what's different, is that we're not all literally isolated from society in temples right now, with teachers guiding our every move and watching everything we're doing. And, there's like a kind of reward system for those that are working, harder or more diligently, right? All of that kind of stuff. So it's up to us to be that advocate for ourselves and our evolutionary process. There's also a wonderful philosophical concept of telos, and it has to do with the templating of everything in creation, the blueprinting for it to go from a beginning point and evolve to its maximum point of flowering or fruition, essentially divine destiny, right? And so the six is opening up to the crystalline realms, opening up to deeper access to our gifts and abilities, cultivating them through self-discipline and devotion and a humble heart, open heart, soft heart, deep listening, asking to be shown. So it's a really beautiful energy to start to expand into our mystical nature. And it's just so interesting to look back throughout, different systems of thought control, like organized religion, for instance, always heavily poo-pooed, and put down any mystical arts, any healing arts, even, astrology, right? Because they wanted to keep the people isolated from their own gnosis, their own divine wisdom, and their own access to it, right? Because if people are kept in ignorance, then they're easier to control and manipulate. So this is kind of that freedom energy of busting out. So thank you for tuning in for this, and I'm excited to know, how is it going for you? What are you observing so far this level into the program? So we're, starting our second week basically of these Scorpio energies. And what are you observing? What are you observing when different triggers come up or situations come up emotionally or psychologically, even relationally with other people? The inner dialogue. And it's really amazing to use this system as a point of reference to help us stay on track. So if all of a sudden you're observing your mind and your emotions are going to a dark place, or an old habit, mode of thinking that doesn't really serve you, you can go back and look at the 0 point, and the one, and all of these different steps and all of these different degrees and frequencies, these tones, they're all musical notes as well, to dive into, to remember who we are and return to that focus, right? To that stability in our being. So, yeah, it's pretty wonderful. So, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow for the seventh degree, which is going to be great as well. We have a lot of support for you working through the subconscious through this process, right? With different activations and guided processes, shamanic journeys we put here on the channel. And then there are a lot of amazing, depending on if you're feeling like ritual or if you're feeling like a guided activation or different processes, even shamanic ritual, working with the elements, like working with fire to assist to clear negativity from yourself, from your environment. All of these are listed in the description box below. So thank you so much, and wishing you an amazing day and a continual expansion and a beautiful deepening into yourself, into your fullness, and into your truth. Namaste.
Hey everyone, we are going to interrupt this broadcast for a quick little infomercial to share with you several opportunities that we have to go really deep with the information that we are presenting. And we are going to be spending the next 30 days from the 0.0 all the way to the 29th mastery degree of this solar journey with Scorpio and Pluto, diving deep into our subconscious and really starting to access hidden realms of pure power. And we have this opportunity, Awakening the Sleeping Phoenix, if you are really wanting to go even more deeply with applying this information. Here we have the opportunity for you to access pure, untapped nuclear soul power through what we're calling a form of an energetic detox and a massive subconscious cleanup. We have a couple options here to meet you where you are. So if you're on more of a budget right now, we are offering a self-guided soul tour experience where you can actually download this ebook that I've created, Anchoring Your True North. And this is a star map, a manual for your own self-discovery to support your own awakening process, to connect more with your divine purpose. And I'm sharing here 5 of my favorite systems that I have been using in my own awakening journey that have really taken me to new levels, so new depths and new heights of self-seeing. So this is a wonderful and comprehensive introduction to 5 different mystery school chart systems based on your birth chart, your soul incarnation codes. And it's all self-guided. So I share with you in depth how to pull all of these charts so that you can do a self-guided version if you like. So all you have to do is go log in and create a learner account at the Mystery School site. Details are in the description box below. Click on the True North Compass Guide, and here's some lovely information. You'll start to see how in depth I go with my work. The value that I want to bring is really share a lot of information to support you at these times of transformation. So you can see some of the details here, and to just click and basically get this course added to your dashboard. Then if you want to go deeper, we're offering a mastery class, the Phoenix Rising, Pluto and your cosmic soul keys. And this is a deep dive. If you've ever done any mastery empowerment classes with me, or if you're new to my work, I take you really deep. There's a lot of information in here. We cover so much, and you'll see more when we actually look at the landing page for this course. But this actually includes, for your investment, the full video mastery course, an ebook to go along with it to apply even more deeply what we're covering and explore, and a session with me. For less than the price of one session, you are getting this whole master course and a session with me to review and more deeply anchor in all that we are discovering, all that you are seeing. So I'm here to serve as a sacred mirror for you in this process. When you go to the landing page, you're going to start to really get an idea of how comprehensive this class is. So I'm sharing a little bit about how astrology came to me and my journey, going over the benefits of this class, which some of the most important things to note is this is about embodying your Phoenix Rising key codes and really taking our power back from stories, fears, anxieties, and so on, and an in-depth exploration of your gifts and talents, professions, and also reviewing what you mastered in past lives and what you came here to master for this cycle. And that's just one aspect of the class. We cover a lot. So you can go to the landing page to see even more. These are the systems that I discovered over time, digging more and more and more deep to be able to recognize myself and to trust my service mission and so many aspects of this. And once you purchase this course, I will get notified and I will reach out to you to schedule your session. So thank you so much for checking all of this out, for joining me for this little commercial, and welcome to the Mystery School too. It's fun to share that with you, and we'll get back to the program now.